What's up, guys and girls? Hi.
Dana, right here. A lot of changes to this card, a lot of fights that fell apart or had to be redone the last 36 hours. Can you remember a time like this where I know you always say you're ready for anything, but I'm sure you're not ready for.
We're proving it again. Yeah. We're ready for anything. You know, obviously there's some things that we couldn't pull off, but you know, this is going to happen. This is going to be absolutely normal over the next God knows how long.
And looking at the main event, obviously Edmund Shahbazyan and Derek Brunson was really supposed to be the co-main event, but now that they are in the main event, I think a lot of people are excited for this fight. It seems like even though it was bumped up, the people are still excited. So what is at stake for this fight, given what happened last week in that key middleweight fight?
Yeah, no, I love this fight. I've been excited for this fight for a long time. I was just really shocked at the stare down, how much bigger Shahbazyan is than him. You know, it's interesting. It's going to be a fun fight. You know, Brunson's explosive, got knockout power, great wrestling. And Shahbazyan is well-rounded. This is obviously the toughest test of his career. And we're going to find out tomorrow night what this kid's got. He wants to be the youngest champion ever. Tomorrow is the real test to tell where this kid's at.
And then dropping down to the co-main event, Joanne Calderwood was supposed to fight Valentina in June, and then it kept getting pushed back. Were you surprised that she took a fight risking her #1 contender spot?
Nah, I mean, when you're real, that's what you do. That's what you do when you're real. I love it.
And then some housekeeping. I'm sure you saw Conor McGregor tweeted, like, "I accept." Does that mean anything, or have you spoken to him at all?
Yeah, that was Khamzat. Khamzat posted, "I want Nate Diaz, Masvidal, or McGregor," and McGregor said, "I accept." That's what that was.
Is there any interest in actually making that fight?
No, no. I mean, listen, Conor's retired, and Conor's move right now is sit back. Let's see how this year plays out and see what's next for him. You know, you know he wants the Khabib fight. That happens October 24th. So we'll see. Is
that Khabib Justin Gaethje fight? That's going to be on Fight Island, I would imagine.
Well, we haven't announced where yet, but probably, yeah.
And then one final one. What did you make of the Herb Dean, Dan Hardy situation that happened in the fight card?
Yeah, let me say this to you guys. I'm glad you asked me that question. Something went down last night in Abu Dhabi, too, where Goddard got pushed. And I want to make this very clear. If you work for me and you approach a judge or a referee or any type of official, I will fire you. You will lose your job. You'll never work for me again if you do that. Nobody has the right to, listen, you want to criticize judges, you want to criticize referees, you didn't agree with a decision or things like that. We love Dan, you know, Dan got emotion. And the problem is now, with this setup, it's a lot easier to do, okay? It's a lot easier to interact with everybody, from the fighters to the refs to the media and everybody. If you work for me at any capacity and you approach a referee or judge or an official, I will fire you that night on the spot. That can never happen here ever again.
Have you spoken to Dan since that?
I'm speaking to him right now. I'm speaking to everybody. Don't ever do it ever again. And if you're a fighter and you put your hands on or, you know, threaten any official, you will never, ever fight here again. Period.
Hey, Dana. Earlier this week, Governor Sisolak said that the state of Nevada would no longer be targeting industries but individual businesses as to who could continue on in the pandemic. That must be great news for you guys, right?
Yeah, what was the question?
Sisolak is targeting companies, not industries. So if you can prove you can continue, you can go on. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we've done, not only have we done everything that we were supposed to do, I mean, we've been very successful doing it. You know, you see all these other sports, a lot of people are having problems, you know, making this thing work. We haven't.
Earlier this week, the Nevada State Athletic Commission released a a proposal of what they're going to talk about at the next meeting, and on it says the next UFC pay-per-view 253 could be here in Vegas. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, we're home for a while.
Cool. With Khamzat Chimaev, what do you do with him? Do you have a fight for him in August? I know you were looking at one.
Yeah. We're trying to get him figured out right now. Listen, this kid wants to fight every weekend, and he's not joking. He wants to fight every weekend. And obviously, in this climate, that's tough to do, but I love that shit, and I want to do it. So I'm going to do everything. Listen, when this kid wants to fight, I'm going to make it happen. So I love guys with that mentality. This guy's the real deal.
Do you sort of take your time with him like you're doing with Sean O'Malley, just sort of match him up against lower-ranked guys and build him up slowly, or do you just push him up the rankings?
Do you guys realize that the kid we matched him up with from the UK, the last fight he had, that dude is a badass. That guy is legit. Don't let the way the fight played out, fool you. That kid was very good, and he made him look not very good. This guy's at a whole nother level. This dude is real.
That's what I mean. So do you just give him top 10 like right away?
I don't know.
Okay. It's finally been announced Mike Tyson is facing Roy Jones Jr. in his comeback fight. I know you were sort of a bit apprehensive about it at the beginning, but now it's all been announced. You've spoken to Mike. How do you feel about it?
I'm flying out probably next week to watch him train. I'm going to his camp next week, so I'm excited for him. Listen, he says he's got that fire. He says he wants to fight. He wants this. Jones wants it. They're grown men. I'm 100% supportive.
Will you be there that night?
Probably not, no.
How do you see it going down?
I have no clue. I'll tell you what. Ask me that question next week after I go to camp and watch him train, and I'll give you an honest answer.
Last one from me. I know you have no idea when fans are coming back or anything like that, but when they do you stack that card as some sort of big return event?
Yeah, I mean, I always try to stack the card and make the card as good as it can possibly be. I'm not even thinking about fans coming back. It's not even something that I think about. I'm just trying to figure out all the other shit that, you know what I mean? I'm not even there. It's not even I mean, we were just talking about the governor saying people who don't comply and all this other stuff. I mean, we're so far from fans. It's nowhere near close.
Dana, since the first run of the Fight Island has ended, do you look back on it? Are there some takeaways? What were your overall thoughts on what transpired over in Abu Dhabi?
It was perfect, perfectly executed. It was fun. It was a unique experience, especially now. I mean, none of us get to travel or go anywhere, or do anything. It was a very good break from the monotony. And like I said, it was super successful, and it was successful in every way that an event can possibly be successful. So it was awesome.
And I know you guys have kind of setting a crazy schedule for August with the Contender Series and then the various other UFC events. Can you kind of just give us your thoughts on what August is going to look like?
Yeah, I'm excited about. I love the Contender Series. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm obviously very excited about that, and I just, you know, as me personally, and as a company, we're just putting our head down right now and grinding, running. I can't wait for January 1st. Life is too short. You don't ever want to wish your life away, but come on, Jan 1. I can't fucking wait to get out of 2020. I don't know what I'm expecting in fucking Jan 1, but yeah, I can't. We're putting our head down and we're just fucking grinding, man. I'm just trying to get through this year.
And finally, for me, you know, been watching basketball and all this other stuff and seeing these virtual fans. I would just love to get your take on what you think about these screens set up on the side of the court showing fans, and would there ever be a possibility of seeing CGI fans in the crowd out there for one of the UFC events?
You know, listen, everybody's got to do their own thing and what they think, you know, works for their sport, their business. I like the way it's set up now with, you know, we got media. Got some people that need to be there and that are working, and some corners. I think it works for us. I think the show comes off great. Listen, there were a couple of, when you asked me about Fight Island, now that you just mentioned that, there were a couple production things that I didn't love that I'm trying to tweak right now for our next run over there. But I'm pretty happy with where we're at.
What's up, Dana?
Hey, buddy.
I know on Tuesday, August 4th, Contender Series starts. Is there any update with The Ultimate Fighter ramping up?
Yeah, we're still working on that. You know, Jacksonville, we did the Apex, we did Fight Island. We're getting the Contender Series going again. Now we're trying to figure out the Ultimate Fighter, when to go, how to pull it off. You know, if this thing's done in Las Vegas, how are we gonna get the approval to have these guys all living in a house together? And so it's a lot of work that needs to be done, but we're on it.
Do you think it's likely it happens in 2020 or it'd be 2021?
I don't know. I can't give you an honest answer on that.
Rodriguez versus Zabit was just announced for the end of this month. Volkanovski's been kind of vocal that he doesn't want to have a Holloway 3 match. Where do you see the winner of that fight for Zabit and Rodriguez and their
I know
title
it's
contention?
it's an interesting position to be in, because I don't think anybody would deny that Holloway deserves another crack at it. I can totally see Volkanovski's side of that and saying, well, guess what? The only fucking people that matter, the judges, said I won the fight twice. I'm ready to look at another opponent. So I get both sides. I need to really sit down and talk to the boys. We haven't talked yet, Sean and Mick, and figure out what we think is the next best step for Volkanovski.
And lastly,
And Max.
Okay. And lastly, for me, this weekend, Angela Hill makes her debut as an analyst for this fight card. Just curious how that came about and what her future is in store for broadcasting with the UFC.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. All of our fighters, really, if you look at the UFC and how many fighters have got to work in TV while they were fighting or when they're done fighting, it's actually pretty cool. And it's a testament to how sharp, these people really are and how talented they are. Because that isn't easy. Getting on there and calling fights or whatever you're doing on television isn't easy. These guys are doing it with no training. They didn't go to school for this shit. And it's pretty impressive. And she, contrary to what she believes, I love that kid. I know that, in her last fight, I don't know what she saw, in the Claudia Gadelha fight, but for some reason she thought that I didn't stand up for her and that she won the fight and things like that. She couldn't be more wrong. We love her here, and I'm happy to see her getting this opportunity, and I hope she kills it. Yep.
Yeah. Kathleen Vieira, she's not going to fight next week here in Vegas, but Jennifer is fighting tomorrow. So, if I'm not wrong, Brazilians are not allowed to get inside the U.S. yet. Are you guys working with the immigration to help Brazilian fighters to come to the U.S. to fight?
Listen, anybody who can't get into the U.S. will go to Fight Island.
So yeah, so how Jennifer is fighting this week? How is this process?
I don't know the specific situation or how it worked out. I don't know. But if you can't get into the country, we fight you in Fight Island. If you can get in the country, we fight you here.
Yeah, that's the doubt, because if I'm not wrong, on the website says that Brazilians are not allowed to get inside the U.S., but Kathleen was supposed to fight next week, but she said she's fighting in Vegas September 12th, so she can get inside, but she couldn't get the visa at the time. So this bureaucracy, we don't have the details about it. So my question is are you guys working with the immigration to help Brazilians to get inside the U.S.?
Of course we are.
Yeah.
We're working with everybody, with immigration, with everybody to get into the country or get into Fight Island. Of course.
Yeah, okay. Well, what kind of help?
We don't just say,
does it
hey,
work?
figure this shit out and let us know how it works out. We have a whole immigration department that literally that's what they work on.
Sure. My last question is, do you have any update about the deal with Venom? Any update about the fighters' payment? If something's going to change about the Reebok deal?
What's the question? Yeah, they'll be paid.
Yeah, but do you have any? Is something's going to change between the Reebok deal, Venom deal about fighters getting paid?
No, they get paid.
The same amount.
Reebok paid them and Venom pays them. I think they get more in the Venom deal.
Okay. Do you have any update, the specific amount, or not yet?
No.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Have a good day.